I'm Teresa LaBarbera, and you're watching Connecticut Style. It's wedding week, and I recently sat down with etiquette coach Karen Thomas for a lesson in what to do and, more importantly, what not to do when it comes to weddings. This is great information not only for the bride and groom, but also for their guests. And Integrated Refugee and Immigrant Services helps refugees get a new start in life right here in Connecticut. We'll tell you how you can take part in the upcoming Run for Refugees event this weekend. And I'm here in the kitchen with one of our favorite guests. Denise Mickelson from Fine Cooking Magazine is back. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So it's been a cold winter. This is a very fitting dish.
French onion soup. It's actually a twist. It's a little lighter, a little easier to make, perfect for these cold days.
I love it. And what is that little treat?
This is going to be blue cheese topped croutons, which will go on the soup.
I like the sound of that. All right, Denise, let's start the show. Look right into camera 2. Tell everyone at home what they need to do.
You need to sit back and relax. You're having lunch with style.
Having trouble keeping your New Year's resolutions?
We can't help you eat less or exercise, but if one of your resolutions is to save money, then come to Bob's of Milford.
Get big savings on any Buick, GMC, or any pre-owned vehicle.
Bad credit? You could drive away in this new GMC Acadia for just $299 a month.
Visit Bob's of Milford and get the car that you deserve.
Bob's of Milford.
He just wants to get you alone.
Open Sundays.
This is a special message from AT&T.
It's no secret that the price of things just keeps going up.
But we have some good news. It's our bundle price promise.
A price you can definitely count on for 2 whole years. From AT&T. Call to get UVerse TV starting at just $19 a month with our triple play bundle. Get the same great price for 2 years. Plus now 2 times the internet speed than before.
Switch today and get a total home DVR included for life.
You get reliable high-speed internet on our advanced digital network. Choose from speeds up to 24 megs.
And with UVerse TV, you can record 4 shows at once on your total home DVR and play them back in any room.
So call now. UVerse TV starts at $19 a month with our triple play bundle with the same great price for 2 years. Plus, now get 2 times the internet speed than before. It's a triple play bundle that's hard to beat. Same great price, 2 whole years. Price promise.
That has a nice ring to it.
Only from AT&T.
So when it comes to planning a wedding, nothing is more important than making sure you're doing things by the book. We're talking about wedding etiquette, the right way and the wrong way of doing things. Coming from someone who's planning a wedding, things can get very confusing. Karen Thomas has been teaching etiquette for the past 12 years and is a certified etiquette coach. She joins us here today on Connecticut Style. So Karen, I'm knee-deep in this wedding planning, and there's a lot to consider, right and wrong ways of doing things.
Absolutely.
I think first we should start with invitations.
Okay.
The importance of the RSVP.
RSVP is highly important due to the cost of what people are expending on weddings these days. This is something that needs to be done. As soon as you get an invitation, you should respond immediately. You put it aside, you say, you know what, I'm going to look at it the next day. You tend to forget, and then it gets pushed aside. The minute that I receive an invitation, I call or I RSVP if it's a mailed one, and you do it right away, and that helps right off the bat.
And you don't want a bride calling you when she has plenty of other things to do, right?
That is a huge faux pas.
It's annoying. All right, let's move on to guest attire. What's appropriate and what's not?
Okay, well, there's various different types. If you're having a black tie wedding, then naturally the men should be wearing full tuxedos. Okay, if it's white tie, same thing, tails, coats, you know, for the men. Women should steer away from white or a cream for a daytime wedding. And this is something that people, they feel anything goes. Same thing, black should be worn for evening. So if your wedding is in the afternoon, 5 p.m. or so, they can go with black. But again, you have to be careful. And a lot of people don't go by that anymore, but that still is the norm to check with like the time frame of the wedding. During the day, you don't want to wear a black dress.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Also, if it's on a specific holiday or the time of the year plays into that, right?
Absolutely.
Don't ever wear white, right?
Ever. You don't want to
the biggest faux pas ever.
Exactly. You don't want to show up the bride, and not that you would, but I mean, it's just, it actually is a little bit of a diss to the bride.
All right, let's talk about toasting etiquette, because as my mother says, it's a toast, not a roast.
I am so glad that you made that comment, because this is so true. It should be less personal and more wishing well for the couple rather than getting into a personal story or something where they go on and on, where the audience doesn't know what you're talking about.
Cares.
Exactly.
I have actually stopped a best man speech before
because
it was so appalling. I think men forget about that. No one needs to know about stories. Save it for the bachelor party.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
All right, attendant etiquette. We're talking about rules, maid of honor, best man, that type of thing.
Some brides do become bridezillas, but you know what? The attendant, the maid of honor or matron of honor is there to do a lot of the work. So you should be very, very close with that person in conjunction with what your wishes are, being the bride. And it's a lot of work. When you accept that honor, you should know there's a lot of work that goes with it.
You really have to think long and hard.
Absolutely, and expense is one of the huge things about it. There's a huge expense with the dresses, perhaps travel, gifts, all of those things, putting on a shower. Those are attendant's duties.
It's true. So I actually have decided just to have my sister, my future sister-in-law, because it's a burden sometimes, right?
It can be a financial burden, and then people get in over their head, and then you're stuck.
You don't want your wedding to be annoying,
No,
right?
no,
to anybody.
absolutely.
So think long and hard before that happens.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about gift etiquette.
Okay.
Is it true that you have a year after the wedding date to send a gift?
You do have up to a year to send a gift. I would suggest that you do it within the first month.
Sure.
That's more acceptable. And then the same thing with thank you notes on your end. When you're sending thank you notes out, you want to make sure that you get them out in a timely manner. Now, of course, you'll go on a honeymoon or some sort of a trip afterwards, so I would suggest up to 6 months. You do have a year. Etiquette states a year, but you know what? I would prefer that you get them out within the first 3 to 6 months, and it makes the people feel more that you're being more gracious with them rather than just like forgetting it, and then in the 10th month they gotta.
Wait a second.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I said
I owe
a
you
toaster.
something. Let's talk about the registry. Should you pick something off the registry? Obviously, the bride and groom are interested in those gifts.
I think the safest thing to do, especially if you don't know the couple as well, absolutely go with the registry, because it's something that they want, something that they need. Rather than just something like a statue or something that maybe they don't really want and might get returned. A lot of people are funny like that. I always suggest to either go with a gift card, something off the registry, or cash.
Would you do cash, check, or it makes no difference?
It doesn't really make a difference. I prefer that when I go to a wedding, I do cash. And remember that when you're giving a gift for a wedding, it should cover at least the plate cost and then some. Okay, so in other words, if it's at a very, very fancy place and you think that the plate is like, $100 per person, it should be over that. And that's per person.
That's great advice. So let's talk about the glassware and the utensils we have on the table.
Well, it's funny. A lot of people don't know how to use a glass. We have a red wine glass. What you need to do is you need to hold it like this. This red wine is served at a warmer temperature, okay? So if you're having red wine with the dinner that evening, you want to hold it here, and the warmth of your hand keeps it the right temperature of the wine. With your white wine glass, it's always a little smaller. You hold it by the stem, and the same thing with a champagne flute. That's how you want to hold it. And then, of course, the water goblet you can hold from the bottom. But these are things, especially as the bride, you want to look good when you're you're doing that. And then utensils. Everyone does this wrong, so I always like to go over the utensils. When you're holding your utensils, you want to make sure that the back of your finger is on the backbone of each one, and you're cutting and eating like that. And then when you're done, you place them never back on the table. You want to make sure that you place them on the side of the plate, resting on the plate, so it doesn't touch the tablecloth.
Very good. That's very helpful. What about the napkin? If you get up to go to the bathroom.
It goes on the chair, and it can go either on the back of the chair or on the seat of the chair, either or.
I love that. These are great tips. I hope Leroy and Benny took close notes on that.
Yes.
So fantastic. Where can we find more information about you?
You can reach me at www.CTEtiquette.com.
Pretty easy. Great tips, Karen. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
All right, stay with us. More Connecticut Style after the break. We'll be right back.
Oh my. Wow. He looks like $1 million.
$1 million jackpot from the Connecticut lottery went up to $1 million instantly. All you have to do is play.
What a game! Hey, Randy!
Yeah?
Check it out. I got the game live on my iPad with the Cox bundle. Are you watching this game?
That's cool. Oh, wait. I'm DVRing it.
Rebound! Rebound, yes!
Paul, I'm recording it. Yes. exactly.
Get TV, internet, and phone with the Cox bundle and watch TV on more than your TV. Bundle options start as low as $25 each a month.
Oh, 5 seconds left. Take it to the basket at the buzzer! What? What? Oh, what a regular basket!
Get the Cox bundle and stream video to all your devices with internet speeds 2 times faster than basic DSL. Bundle options start as low as $25 each a month. Plus now get free pro installation.
Just a regular old not end of the game. Tyler! Tyler, we won! We won, but don't tell Randy!
Hurry, get TV, internet, and phone with the Cox bundle. Options start as low as $25 each a month. Switch to Cox today.
Onions are used in all sorts of recipes, but don't usually get top billing. Today, we're going to show you how to turn this ordinary vegetable into a star ingredient. Denise Mickelson is the senior editor of Fine Cooking Magazine and is here to share a recipe for onion and ale soup from the latest edition of Fine Cooking Magazine. Welcome back, Denise.
Thank you so much.
So this was kind of a French onion soup, you said, with a twist.
With a twist. It's a little bit easier, it's a little bit better for you, and it really lets onions shine.
I like that.
I love onions. They really deserve to be more than the beginning of a sauce or, you know, a soup or what have you. One way that they really shine in recipes is if you caramelize them.
Okay.
And it's really simple. So you have to thinly slice the onion. So I'm going to show you how to do that.
I don't know how to do this
all right,
at all.
So you trim the root end. Obviously this is already peeled. You trim the root end, but you leave it intact because otherwise it will fall apart as you slice it. Then you peel it. You cut it in half. And now, if you cut it this way, give it a try. Real thin slices. Yeah,
starting here or starting in the middle?
Start at the side. And do real thin slices, but the point is you're cutting this way from the root end, through the root end, and the onions will keep their shape. Because, you know, when you have an onion soup, you want the long, nice pieces of soft onion in there, right?
How am I doing here, Denise?
These are paper thin slices. I wish you could all see this. This is beautiful.
Thank
You're doing great. So what we have here is we're going to start the soup. We've got a pound and a half of thinly sliced. These are already cut.
Okay.
We're going to, do you hear that? Little nice sizzle there. So you get them in hot oil, and then you turn the heat down right away. You want to give them a jump start, but you don't want them to burn. We're going to cook these for a long time. Well,
and they get sweet, kind of, right?
They get super sweet. And you don't have to add sugar or anything. So what you do is you give them a jump start, little stir, leave them alone for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Once you see browning on the bottom of the pot, you want to encourage that. Give it a stir, give it a little bit of salt, and then we're going to slowly cook them, turning the heat down if it gets too hot, for about half an hour. Since we don't have time to literally do that,
oh, you have some done already.
Here are already caramelized onions. Don't those look beautiful? They're sweet and earthy, wonderful. They're also hot and ready to go. And what we do next is we add half a cup of ale. This is just a pale ale, Sierra Nevada. Okay. You can find it almost anywhere. And this is what gives a nice earthy flavor to the soup. And see how it kind of gets all the nice brown bits off the bottom? Because you want all that flavor in your soup. So that needs to simmer until the onions absorb most of it. Okay. We're going to move on to our croutons.
Yes, I've been eyeing these.
I know.
How fun.
So this is just cubes of bread cut from a loaf of sourdough. You can use anything. You could use a baguette, use a loaf of rye bread, whatever bread you like. Cut them into 1-inch cubes, toss them with a little oil, and put them in a 425-degree oven until they're crispy. Okay. Then, here's the beautiful thing. Push them all together in the middle here, because we're going to sprinkle cheese on top. And if they were all spread out, the cheese would all go on the pan. And then, you know, they're not in your croutons. And what we're going to do is take this. Now, this is crumbled gorgonzola. Okay. It's kind of a entry-level blue cheese, really. It's very mild, and it melts really nicely. So you're going to sprinkle all of that on top. If you don't like blue cheese, I grew up in Buffalo, we put it on everything. I'm obsessed with blue cheese. But if you don't like it, you could use Parmesan, you could use Gruyere, Fontina, whatever melts nicely and has a little bit of tang to it.
Well, typically in the onion soup, you have a layer of cheese, I feel like, right?
So see, this is easier. So we're going to make these croutons and put them in the soup. Otherwise, you'd have to transfer the soup to bowls, heat-proof bowls, put all this cheese on top, put it under the broiler. It's a pain. It's hot and it's messy and it's not great for you. This is a much simpler way to get the same crunch and tang.
Sounds great.
So we throw those into the oven and look what comes out.
It's already melted.
Oh, so it only had to be in there for like 3 minutes to melt. Isn't that beautiful? Lovely. These are going to give our soup some wonderful texture and flavor. Now, back to the soup. Yes. Once this ale is all absorbed, we're going to add chicken and beef broth.
Oh,
and
you
this
combined
is another,
it.
We did, and it's another shortcut. With classic French onion soup, you have to actually make your own beef stock, or you should, and you know, that takes a long time and whatnot. So we're adding beef and chicken stock. The chicken stock lightens it up a little bit.
Okay.
Makes it, you know, not quite so rich and heavy as soup. You stir that, you let this simmer for 10 minutes to infuse all that onion flavor, and you're done. That's your soup.
That is easy.
You season it and you're done. And I just wanted to show you how beautiful it is when it's all done. Take a whiff of that.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Isn't that amazing?
Really nice. Now, how many people would this serve?
This will
recipe?
serve 4, I think, you know, for dinner. You put it in bowls, you top it with those croutons. It's so comforting. Onions certainly shine. Onions are the star here, and it's delicious. Who doesn't love French onion soup?
No, it's true. Denise, what else can we find in the magazine this month?
Well, in the Onion Story, we have a wonderful onion risotto. We have onion rings. Oh my God, they're so good. New England style with cornmeal in the batter, really crunchy. We have winter stews. That's the cover story. How to make a sweet souffle. You can make a chocolate souffle for your sweetheart for Valentine's Day.
That's fun.
It's our February-March issue on newsstands now.
All right, and so you would just serve this in bowls and then sprinkle on top of the croutons?
We will. At the end of the show, you're going to get to try it.
All right, that sounds like a plan. Denise, we'll have the recipe over on WTNH.com. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
All right, coming up next, providing hope and a fresh start for refugees. We'll tell you about the Run for Refugees when Connecticut Style returns. Don't go anywhere.
Who's got your back in the morning? News 8.
Who are you living with now?
My oldest son's dad.
With the father of one of your children.
Him and his wife.
You want to live a weird life, that's your thing. You want to bring children into your weird lifestyle, that's something else.
Next, Judge Judy.
Today at 4 on News 8.
Trantolo and Trantolo, celebrating 75 years of winning tradition throughout New England.
I'm honored by the fact my sons are with me. I'm proud to carry on the tradition that my brother and I carried on from my father. It's a wonderful thing.
You feeling boxed in by depression symptoms such as persistent sadness, loss of energy, or problems sleeping? If so, please call about participating in a clinical research study for those with depression. There is no cost to participate in this depression clinical research study, and compensation for time and travel is available to those who qualify. To learn more about this depression clinical research study, call toll-free 1-866-390-7373 or visit mydepressionstudy.com. 1-866-390-7373.
The Hyundai Sonata. Sleek styling, spacious interior, and award-winning safety. It delivers more. Standard. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Imagine leaving everything and everyone you know behind for an uncertain future somewhere else. Every day, thousands of people are forced either by natural disasters, war, persecution, or poverty to make that difficult decision, all for a chance of a better life. Joining me now are Chris George, the Executive Director of Integrated Refugee and Immigrant Services, or IRIS for short, and Farha Mohammed, a refugee from Eritrea and Sudan. Welcome. How are you both? Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Chris, first let's start off. Who are the refugees?
A refugee, Teresa, is someone who has fled persecution, someone who has been forced to leave their home country because of persecution, because of their race, their religion, their nationality, the social group they're in, or their political opinion. And there are about 15 million refugees in the world today.
And how do they arrive in the United States?
Well, they're selected, the lucky ones, tiny fraction of the 15 million, are selected by the U.S. government. The State Department, Department of Homeland Security will do background checks, and then they're invited to come to the United States. About 60,000 refugees from all over the world every year are invited to come to the United States.
And about how many in Connecticut?
About 450 every year of the 60,000 come to Connecticut, and IRIS last year welcomed 212 of them.
And what types of services do you provide?
Well, for someone like Farha, we would help enroll her to beautiful, smart kids in school. We would connect them to health care. We'd help them learn English, not so much for Farha because she knows English, but most refugees don't know English. So health care, education, English, Initially, we of course have to find housing for them. Before they arrive, we find an apartment, we furnish it with donated furniture, we stock the kitchen with food, we make sure there's a hot meal prepared for them. And then we also, and this is the important part, we also help them find jobs.
Very good. All right, now, Farha, I want to ask you, you're from Eritrea. We're going to put up a map, actually. It's in Northeast Africa.
Yes.
Kind of by the Red Sea there. You were then in Sudan. Tell me a little bit about your life, what it was like before you came to the United States.
In Sudan, it's not common to the woman to work, so it was very hard to me because I'm a journalist and I was working in my country in especially the men in Sudan, they don't like to women enjoy with them the life, so I should stay at home all the time.
That's what they had expected, right? You came over with your 2 children, correct? Talk to me about that experience. We have a picture of you and your little ones there.
Yes.
I suppose, how'd you know where you were going, or how'd you make your way here?
The government of Sudan, they was pressuring me, and there was terrible things happen because they want my husband to return back to Khartoum. So they was trying to kidnap my son. So I went to the UNHCR and I told them I cannot return back to my country because I have problem there.
Sure.
So they helped me to come to United States.
Sure, and you found Iris, and
Yes.
You're now working, and
Yes.
your kids are in school, but you weren't able to take a lot with you.
Yes.
Tell us what you have here.
Yeah, when the UNHCR, I remember they called me on Monday and they asked me to ready to come to America after 2 days. So
that's not a lot of time at all, right?
Yeah, but and I don't know what should I bring, what should I leave there. So I asked my kids to choose one thing, favorite thing to them. So my daughter, she like her toy.
She brought her one little toy. Okay.
Yeah, and this is her bag.
Oh.
But my son, and also my son, he like book and he bring his book, but he didn't let me to bring it to me.
He keeps it. Okay.
Yeah, but he do this thing to me.
Well, it's great that you have some mementos with you.
Yes.
Chris, I want to ask you, the Sunday before the big game, it's the Run for Refugees. Give us all the details.
That's right. Well, we think welcoming refugees to this country is the best thing we do. We want to celebrate this amazing program of welcoming persecuted people, giving them a new start on a new life by having a big run. We call it the Run for Refugees. It's happening this Sunday. February 3rd, this Sunday at the Wilbur-Cross High School. It starts at 10 a.m.
Okay.
It is the best way to start the day of the big game. You want to do something healthy, you'll be supporting a great cause, so we want all of you. Teresa, you're invited, and everybody here is invited to come this Sunday morning to the Run for Refugees.
Fantastic, and of course all that information is right there on the screen. Farha, I want to thank you so much for telling your story, and congratulations. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks.
All right, stay with us. More Connecticut Style after the break. We'll be right back.
Kathy Rigby is Peter Pan. The Emmy Award-winning Broadway show like you've never seen it before. A must-see for the whole family. Rigby hits new heights in Peter Pan. Don't miss this high-flying magical adventure, Peter Pan, with a Tony-nominated performance of Kathy Rigby.
This way to Neverland!
Don't miss Peter Pan, coming to the Waterbury Palace Theater February 15th through the 17th. For tickets, go to palacetheaterct.org.
Buy one, get one free. Connecticut Home Interiors has never had an offer of this magnitude and may never offer it again. Here's how it works. Buy the first item at regular price, get the second item of equal or lesser value free. Offer includes all furniture, lamps, mirrors, and accessories in stock or special order. Choose from famous brand names including Baker, Bernhardt, Henredon, and Century. Buy one, get one free. Don't miss out. An offer of this magnitude won't last forever. Connecticut Home Interiors, your North Carolina connection, West Hartford and Avon.
Having trouble keeping your New Year's resolutions?
We can't help you eat less or exercise, but if one of your resolutions is to save money, then come to Bob's of Milford.
Get big savings on any Buick, GMC, or any pre-owned vehicle.
Bad credit? You could drive away in this new GMC Acadia for just $299 a month.
Visit Bob's of Milford and get the car that you deserve.
Bob's of Milford.
He just wants to get you alone.
Open Sundays.
Be a part of News 8's Pink Power. Take a stand in Connecticut. So there's a new spin on this year's big game commercials. ABC's Lindsay Davis has this story.
With $4 million at stake for just 30 seconds of your time during this Sunday's big game, advertisers are trying anything and everything to score big. What they're banking on is this year's winning play will be putting the power into the hands of the viewer.
I wonder what would happen if I were to send this out.
Instead of Betty White, talking babies, and dogs in shoes, this year is all about interaction and social media.
This Super Bowl will be the most democratic and social Super Bowl in history. They really want people involved with these ad campaigns because there is so much pressure. This is a gigantic investment, and they really want these things to have a long shelf life.
For the past 6 years, Doritos has been putting their fans to work making the ads.
Can you play Princess Fashion Shows with me?
Sweetheart, I'd love to, but the guys, they're outside waiting for me.
We got Doritos.
And then having them vote on which one makes the cut.
It's going to be fun for them to sort of vote and see their vote count. It allows them to sort of invest themselves into the game.
Something other companies are catching on to. This year, Audi shot 3 endings to this teen's prom experience. And is letting viewers vote online, selecting which one makes it to the big screen. Budweiser is asking viewers to follow them on Twitter to name this baby cult their latest addition to their famed team of Clydesdales. The biggest Hail Mary of all, though, goes to Pepsi, who bought just 1 ad.
Are you kidding me?
And is using the rest of their screen time, letting fans strike a pose with a can as they introduce Beyonce for their halftime show.
Never knows. So are you into the game or the commercials?
Commercials. And food.
And food. And who do you have with you?
This is Diana.
From Fine Cooking Magazine. Very good. All right, well, we're going to dig into the soup here.
Yes.
Looks fabulous. How do you finish it off?
You just finish it off, you put it into bowls, and then you top it with some of these wonderful, crunchy, cheesy croutons.
What a lovely lunch, Denise. Thank you so much.
You're
of course,
so
the
welcome.
recipe's in this month's edition, right?
It is, and at finecooking.com.
Right, all right, we're just about out of time, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Make it a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.